Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 302 days until Christmas 2021, and been kind of busy this week with work and still writing code for my project that I'm on, but had to come in today with our regular show with Reimagining Star Wars is the very own Imagic maker. Welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and hello, everyone.
Yeah. So people were asking, and I was just telling you right before we came on, we just had the appliance repair guy here, fixed the washing machine, so we're back up and running. The elves will have clean clothes now. But no, we're good. So just been busy, and boy, there's lots of things that have happened. We don't have a lot of brand new news to share today, but we do have several things we could talk about. And, last week we started this kind of fun exercise in casting Muppets into the Star Wars movies, kind of a fan casting idea, but using Muppets instead of people. So we'll talk about that. We got some great suggestions on our Discord, and if you haven't been following our Discord, the link to Imagic Maker's Discord is in the description here, as well as the link for the Discord that I have my own channel on. And please join us there. We can continue the discussion. And I see some fantastic, awesome people here in the chat. Of course, Gray and Dale and Everyday Geeks. Welcome. Wu-Tang Wells, our very own intro guy. Thank you so much. Aggressively relaxing. Good to see you here. And let's see, who else have I overlooked? I'll get back up, Dale. Dark Winter. Oh, I saw your comment. Dark Winter. Okay, what has Disney done now? The latest news, Disney didn't do it, but I'll tell you guys, I just told a Magic Maker, and I shared it on our Discord right before the show. I was listening to the Hasbro investor call earlier, and my goodness, I learned a whole lot about Hasbro that I did not know. But one of the things that they were talking about is they're removing the Mr. from the Mr. Potato Head line. Is now it's going to be the Potato Head family. Of course, you'll still have a Mr. Potato Head and a Mrs. Potato Head, but the line itself will no longer be known as the Mr. Potato Head line, and they're removing that Mr. So brace yourselves for the outrage and the videos on the typical YouTube channels that care about that stuff. So there you go. So yeah, X-Arcoon, that's so dumb. Well, it's the 21st century. We just have to live with dumb. That's what we get every day. We get a new flavor of dumb. So. And you had a comment as well right before we came on, right?
Yeah, I think I'm getting ready to move to the North Pole. That's what I'm saying.
Crazy days, crazy times where removing Mr. from the Mr. Potato Head line is one of the important things that businesses are doing. So there you go. And Leah, I saw you here. Welcome for being here. Thank you so much for being here. And Mark, there you are. Mark is coming back to the States tomorrow, I believe, right, Mark? You got your flight scheduled tomorrow. Good to get you back in the country. And Park Outdoors, welcome. We've got some more folks joining us here. And did I see that they cast Ezra Bridger? Yes, we did. We're going to talk about that. So we've got a whole bunch of topics here. Let me go ahead and switch over so that we can talk about our topics aggressively. Mr. Potato Head was my father. You could call me Potato. Yeah, okay, so Mark's coming.
I'm your potato.
Yes.
No!
Mark's got my Cara Dune. So Mark is he's a lifesaver. He was able to get the Cara Dune vintage collection figure for me. They canceled my order. They also canceled my Jawas, which made me mad. And talking about the Hasbro investor call, of course, every time I get an order canceled, I've got to go on a little bit of a rant. Why can't they give me Jawas? Come on, Hasbro. Pump those little guys out. Everybody needs to have a handful of Jawas, and I can't understand why I can't get Jawas filled when they've been around now for over, 50 years. Seems like they've been out forever. No, 40 years, right? We're 40 years into a little over 40 years into the Star Wars franchise, and Jawas have been around since day one. So Hasbro, pump a few of those things out for guys like me. I need more Jawas in my collection. So I need them. And I don't understand why they're getting canceled from big box stores. They just make me mad. And speaking of a big box store cancellation, Target decided they didn't want to fill my order. And so I had to place it with my favorite carrier, Dorkside Toys. I've got my Dorkside box here. I managed to get a figure from Dorkside. We're going to do that review tomorrow. So there you go. There's a couple of other things here. Let me just, the Black Series record. So let's talk about the Bad Batch.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bad Batch animated series. If that's not the theme song, or if they don't do some sort of work to put that into the theme song, then that's a sad day.
It will be.
Right. It's got to be in there. It's got to be in there. But Wrecker from the Bad Batch, his Black Series figure just went live for pre-order. If you are wanting, if you're a Black Series collector and you want to get those figures, today is the day. Get out there and order your Black Series Wrecker. And word to the wise. You order from the big box stores, you risk getting them canceled. So there you go. But they're finally doing something smart. Lucasfilm, they may do so many things that are dumb. It's great when they do something smart. And here on Star Wars Day, they're actually releasing Star Wars stuff. How cool is that?
It's an awful idea. I don't know why you'd ever want to release Star Wars stuff on Star Wars Day. Never, ever. I would never do it.
They're just crazy. I'm excited. May the 4th is coming up, and they're going to release the Bad Batch on that day. Now, it should be noted that they're also listing that Visions, that other animated limited series, right? They've got 10 episodes that are retellings of all current Star Wars stories by famous anime animators. So they are going to be releasing 10 shorts in 2021. We just don't know the date. So right. we do have the Bad Batch on May 4th, and then we've got Visions coming up sometime, and then of course the Book of Boba Fett in December. So speaking of the Bad Batch, we would assume it's going to pick up right after the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, I think it's about the time it's going to pick up. I think it may even pick up in the middle of it, or like right at the end. So like we pick up at the same time that Order 66 is occurring, and then we follow them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to follow Order 66. Just the description, I keep seeing that, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's following with the Clone Wars animated series, and that ends right there. But the description of the show is the A-Team.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the A-Team wasn't involved in the war. It was after the war. They're mercenaries for hire.
Right.
And so
but if you remember that the intro to the A-Team showed, footage from Vietnam, and that was overlaid, and it told their story on how they got to where they were. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they'll necessarily do it directly, but I wouldn't be surprised if you had a first 5 minutes start there to give you what's happening, and then you pick up with them 10 years later or 5 years later. Did I lose you?
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know if you lost me. Last
And
week we were
I'm
having some
assuming that
trouble.
my audio is still doing the weird stuff.
Oh,
And folks,
no.
folks can hear you.
Can people hear me out there?
I think they
Tell
can.
me in the chat.
I think they can. We're having trouble here at the house. My wife's having issues on her business meetings as well, where it just it silences for a little bit. So I let you go a little bit there, assuming that you were still expanding on your idea.
Yeah, I was expanding, and then I went silent.
Okay. So we're good. I gave you enough time. Great. Mercenaries for hire. Do you suppose they might be being hired to hunt down Jedi?
No, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I really do think that it's the A team that they're going and they're helping people against the Empire, and that there will be the Imperials. And initially, I think I won't be surprised if it's clones that are hunting them down, just like there were military members and it was a colonel that was hunting down the A team.
Right. I think so too. So the whole Order 66 thing, I think, is going to be at best a loose connection. I don't really see it being central to the show at all.
Yeah, I think it'll be in their kind of.
But it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. It'll be nice to get some Star Wars content, new Star Wars content again, in just a few months too.
Yeah, who's talking now? You talking? Am I talking?
You're talking. Go.
I do think it's going to be good to have this coming out. It'd be nice to be able to do reviews of what is being produced, as opposed to getting angry about what we have no control over.
Right, like Ted Cruz, throwing shade at. Well, Ted said something about Gina, but he also threw shade at Ray, right. And of course that got Daisy Ridley to reply. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care at this point. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody has their own political view. I just want to watch some Star Wars.
And there you go. I'm with you, my friend. So Gray brings up, I am not happy with the Ezra casting. He's my favorite Jedi. Well, Gray, you watch the first episode of the Rebels, and Ezra is Aladdin. That's what he is. And so here they've cast Aladdin as Ezra. So it only makes sense, right? I'm tongue in cheek a little bit, right? I'm
canceling you, Santa. That was too serious.
Oh my goodness! I thought over. You're right. I thought over 4 seasons they did a good job of breaking away from the Aladdin kind of stereotype with Ezra. Turned him into an interesting character, not just an Aladdin wannabe. But they're going whole hog. If they're going to hire Aladdin to be Ezra, then there's your answer, right? I mean, nothing wrong with Mina Masood, right? Fine actor, and I thought the Aladdin remake was okay. As far as that went, and it had its highlights, it had its moments, but I'm not a huge fan of all the remakes. But I thought he did okay.
We enjoyed it as a family.
I know most of us were pulling for someone else.
Yeah, we were.
but just because he's such a fan, right? I mean, it'd be great to see somebody who loves Star Wars as much as what's his name? I just lost it.
I see his face in my mind, but
me too. Me too. You guys have already probably put it in the chat, but it has, to see him not get the role is a little sad, because he's such a huge Star Wars fan, just a nerd, and he was politicking for the role. It's sad for me to see him not get it, but at the same time,
Raul, that was it.
Raul, there you go. I was pulling for Raul. I thought he's got the right look. He's got the, he's a fan. He's got the acting chops. But,
I mean, now we get musicals.
There's
Yeah.
the breaking news. There's the
Gotta
breaking
eat,
news
gotta-
that the Ahsoka series is going to be a musical.
That's right. Got to
It's a
eat to live. Got to live to eat. Got to steal to eat. And that's how we get along.
That's right. That's right. There you go. You heard it here first. Ahsoka the musical. Oh my goodness! What are we going to do? There are things just to not get upset about, and this is falls in that role for me. I'm sad, but at the same time, hey, RC Scott, good to see you here. Yeah, stupid job. Mine too, RC Scott. I don't know if you're talking about your stupid job or my stupid job, but those do get in.
They get in the way.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else? I just get caught up here. The street rat. There can only be one. Dale gets it. Yeah. So first episode was him literally stealing stuff with like an Agrabah. Oh, it was totally
Absolutely.
Rebels season 1, episode 1 is Aladdin. The end. That's what it is. You can't watch it and not see Aladdin,
No,
right?
absolutely. You get that total connection.
it's there. It's excited for new content. May the 4th, episode 2 on May the 7th. Yeah. So
Ahsoka.
I got to get caught up with the comments. I'm behind.
Oh my gosh.
Mark got his ordered. BB and Visions. Yeah, Bad Batch take us September, right? Release date's not until October for Visions. Okay. Trev, good to see you here. Need an arc to separate Bad Batch from the Empire. Oh, okay. So maybe the first couple of episodes would be that, right? You get a 3 or 4 episode arc of them becoming the mercenaries for hire.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it's just one episode, and the intent behind it is just simply show them defying Order 66 and escaping from the Empire, and then and then doing something that saves Grogu or something. I mean, whatever. And then we get that picture, and then we're never dealing with that whole thing again.
Oh, Trev's still on the Ezra's going to be a sidekick to Thrawn. I'm absolutely fine with Ezra being a sidekick to Thrawn. Not sidekick, exactly, but to be in working with Thrawn in helping the Chiss Ascendancy. But I don't know that we'll see Ezra full dark side Sith kind of guy, right?
Yeah, he's Joris Sabayoth.
Yeah. No. No. I think more likely he's oh shoot, I just went blank on the guy's name again. I'm terrible. The Thrawn's assistant, or the human that helps Thrawn out in the novels. I think we could see Ezra in that kind of role.
Except that he has the Force.
Yeah, we wanted. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
No, Thrawn, if he's going to use him, he's going to. If Thrawn is going to have him as an ally, he's going to be using him and manipulating him. Otherwise, there will not be. I just don't see it.
XR Coon, you're terrible. That was funny. Brie Larson for Ezra.
Yes.
They missed their chance.
That is a shame. I mean, we're totally typecasting.
Oh my goodness, you guys! we got enough today by removing Mister from Potato Head. Okay, so just let it, let that desk settle down first.
No, just you make fun of it. It's all you can do. You enjoy it, make fun of it, laugh at it, and move on.
Exactly. Ezra will be an antagonist to Ahsoka at first. You think? Well, Trevor's been making this argument. I don't think so. Well, only from the standpoint as Din Djarin and Ahsoka first were kind of in conflict with one another. I could see Ezra defending Thrawn when Ahsoka's wanting to just come and take him out.
I don't know. I mean, she's clearly have an antagonist with Morgan. She clearly works for Thrawn. If Ezra works for Thrawn, Ezra and Ahsoka will be antagonistic to go toward one another.
I don't know.
I don't know how you balance that, man. I don't see how.
Well,
So either if Ezra is working with Thrawn, he's antagonistic to Ahsoka. If they're not antagonistic together, then Ezra's not working with Thrawn.
see, I don't know. When you read the new novels, the brand new ones that come out over the last couple of years, Thrawn is a protagonist. He's a decent human, or not human. Oh, right.
Well, Chiss, he's a decent character. I get what you're saying. I mean, he is not Palpatine. He's not evil for evil's sake, but he is a person who has no qualms with doing evil to do what he thinks is ultimately good. What is? I mean, Anakin joined the Sith to do what he thought was ultimately going to be good. I mean, good is a point of view, and from that perspective.
Yeah. But he's not. He's not a Palpatine kind of wannabe. He's not an emperor in the making.
Right.
And most people's reference to Thrawn goes back to Heir to the Empire, right. And it's just not the character they've developed him to be recently. And if Ezra and Thrawn have been fighting off the Grisk for a decade, and now Ahsoka comes along and just sees Thrawn in the role that he was when he left, they could be adversaries for a moment while they figure out that Thrawn's not who she thinks Thrawn is.
I don't think you understand Thrawn then from the Heir to the Empire series. If you think that Thrawn's purpose in the Heir to the Empire series was to be evil, it wasn't. It was to thwart the incoming Yuuzhan Vong. This is the same reason why
I lost you again on my end. I'm sure you're going fine.
All right,
but I don't want to miss your point.
Yeah, you'll need this. You got me back?
I got you back.
Okay. So I think that if you think that Thrawn from the Heir to the Empire series was evil, then I don't think you understand in the sense of the Emperor evil. Then I think you don't understand Thrawn from that series either. So here's the thing. Thrawn invaded and wanted to control the New Republic because his intent was to stop the Yuuzhan Vong. No different than what the Grisk are now. All right, and we don't know that, for example, but I mean, that's the point of what he was doing. And then we had the Yuuzhan Vong invasion, which led to a huge war. And he needed the galaxy to be united and have the ability to thwart it in order to be victorious. That was his intent. And so he was willing to do what was necessary to ensure that happened. And that purpose was to save the Chiss people.
Right.
So right. I don't think that if you define him as evil, then the character is pretty much the same. It's written by the same guy. He knows his character.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that to be aligned with Thrawn is to be aligned with the bad guys.
To be aligned with Thrawn is to understand that the ends justify the means.
Maybe so. But he's also morally good. I think he's more morally good than morally neutral.
No, he's morally for an outcome. And if it means stealing, if it means killing, if it means destroying, that he does not care. He has one purpose, and he doesn't care. There's not a moral of what this is good for people. He doesn't care if people die for the ultimate of what he sees as his end. So if 1 trillion people have to die for the end that he thinks is necessary to occur, 1 trillion people will die. It's not that he has an evil intent that he wants to rule over people. It's just that he's looking at it. He's a Thanos character.
Well, yeah, Thanos, right? Thanos wasn't evil per se. He just had he was trying to solve a problem in a way that that wasn't great.
No, but the point of it is that you can't say that Thanos was moral because he wanted to save the universe.
Well, yeah, but there's another choice is to transform all the uninhabitable worlds into habitable worlds.
Sure, I'm not saying that his logic was fine, but you understood his logic
Right.
to get where he was. That's all I'm saying.
Right,
so,
right.
So what I'm saying is that he's a type of Thanos, meaning that he has a end outcome that to him is morally right, and it doesn't matter the ends to get there.
But yeah.
Or the means to get to that end.
Ryan Kennel. Super Saiyan, welcome. You go on timeout for that one. That's good. Gray, Thrawn is not a good guy. No, Trev's right. You guys are right on you're on the right path, right? He's a morally gray character to some degree, but he very much comes across not as someone who is after his own glory, power, and leadership. He rises to levels of leadership as a result of what his abilities are, but he's not personally trying to lead or become ruler or emperor or anything like that.
No, I'm not denying that, but he has ultimately a desire for something that most of us would consider, would consider good, but he doesn't have a plan to get there in a hopeful way. He doesn't have faith in people to rally to do things. He feels that they need to be led, if not led, forced into that outcome.
Yeah, Gray brings up a very valid point, right? If genocide is evil, then Thanos is evil. If the means to your ends are evil, then that makes you evil.
I agree. And that's my point.
I think that's a fair statement. And what I see in the Thrawn novels, he is not evil, right? When he can pick saving lives over costing lives, he saves lives.
Yeah. So he is all right. So he is an ends that to justify the means kind of person, but that does not mean that he wastes lives either.
Yeah.
There is a difference in that. I mean, it's like he spent time training. He does quick, cost benefit analysis. He goes, if this battle costs me 50,000 people, and I can pull out and choose my own place to fight, and then only lose 3,000 people, then I will pull out of this fight and choose my own battle place. He is Sun Tzu of Star Wars.
Yeah. Fair enough. And nuanced characters. Imagine that, Trev. Nuanced characters. Well, gone are the days of clearly black and white, right? When Superman has to kill, Zod. When Superman has to kill Zod, and you get that nuance there, right? He had to do it for the story, where the story went, and it made most people lose their minds about Superman not killing somebody. You've lost that Boy Scout Superman that a lot of people really were upset. And the same thing happened with Luke. The same thing's happening with many characters. I think that's one of the things that upset folks about Rey is she doesn't seem to have that struggle. But then you get characters like Ezra, to get back on topic, characters like Ezra who definitely did struggle with the ends justifying the means, and that whole story arc where he's like, you know what, the rebels are playing too safe. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs, and he was willing to do that. He more sided with that side, right?
Right. I mean, we've dealt with this in Star Wars elsewhere too. I mean, it's not the only thing, but I mean, it just shows you how easily though that those kind of things can move you toward the dark side. So the dark side in Star Wars is pure evil and light, and pure light. When we have that battle, and when it comes to Force users, it's really you can really quickly move down to the path of the dark side,
Yeah.
and it takes hold. And the reason being is because they have supernatural power, right? And so when you draw upon that power, it's easier to draw more and more upon it because it comes quickly, and the price is paid later, not in the moment. Where the light side is you pay the price early in the beginning to learn, in time, in order to master it, in order to use it. Not that one is more powerful than the other. It's just that once you can use it, to draw upon it is easy, and you don't pay the consequence immediately, typically.
Yeah, and Trev brings up a really good point, and this is an interesting take. I think it's fascinating that Dr. Doom does this, right? He's super smart, super powerful, right? And sometimes he comes off as a chaotic evil, right? Is that the right term? Am I close? And he's saying Thrawn may be more of Star Wars' Dr. Doom than Star Wars' version of Thanos.
Yeah, that might be true too. I'm just saying that the idea of that the ends justify the means, or the kind of character that Thrawn is, and I was using something that some people are used to. But yes, Doctor Doom would actually be a better representation. I agree with.
Yeah, and give credit where credit's due, Trev. That's a fantastic idea. I'll give you full credit for that, and we will watch what's Palpatine's. We'll watch your career with great interest, right? So there you go. So anything else on Mina Masood and the live action Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka series?
I just think that Ezra will think he's doing the right thing. I mean, I don't think necessarily that will definitely be dark, but he'll think he's doing the right thing. And he'll be convinced of it, and it will definitively be in opposition to what Ahsoka thinks is right.
Yeah, I agree.
They will be antagonistic.
I agree from that. I agree from that perspective. Not that Ezra will be a dark side Sith type, but that his motivation and Ahsoka's motivation will be at odds.
Yeah, and I think that'll be that way all the way through. At least for quite a while.
Yeah, very good. So the other part, George Lucas is, I think IMDb has him listed as the writer for 2 of the episodes of the Andor series. What think you on this?
I think you're going to have some characters that he has written in show up in 2 episodes.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't think he's actually writing it, but you get credit if a character shows up that you were the creator of.
You think he'll direct them?
No, do not. No. I think he said that he was not going to write for Star Wars, and I don't think that he anymore. And I think that he doesn't change his mind all the time. So there is
That's
a possibility.
Hilarious. George Lucas never changes his mind ever. He's known for his consistency in his writing and
exactly, and his interpretations.
Oh, funniest line of the day. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No.
But yeah, so what it means is that there'll be characters that he has written that'll show up in these things. So as a result, he gets writer credit for those.
Okay, so Trev's saying Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, Mark says Mark, right?
Yeah, I think that's likely.
George Lucas changed his mind? No, tell me it's not true. But no, I think people would be super, super excited to see him write and direct an episode. And I will also say that I've been following Star Wars only a little bit, and he is chomping at the bit on some Doomcock level leaks that he's fearful to release. And he's holding back. So I'm watching carefully to see what Star Wars only comes out with.
Yeah,
is alluding to some executive changes happening at Lucasfilm. That's sort of the hint, or at least the inference.
Sure.
And if you shoot somewhere in the middle, it could be that maybe just Lucas is coming back to write and direct some episodes of.
No, I don't see that happen. I think what's happening is Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up at the end of August, and I think they're planning for that transition, and they want all this stuff to tamp down. They want something good. They want her to look good going out, and they want to put all the headaches that have arisen behind them.
Yeah, we'll watch and see what comes of it. And I respect Star Wars only holding back rather than just coming straight out. He's waiting to get some. He said he really trusts the source. It's not a blind email from somebody saying, "Hey, I've got insider information." It's a guy that he actually knows and has a relationship with. So we'll have to see, sort of what happens.
Yeah, I personally think that's probably what it is, and they've been sitting on it because we don't know what's going on with that whole thing, and I think that's probably the information that Kathleen Kennedy is definitely going to be gone, and I think that I don't think she necessarily is wanting to go out the way that it's looking like she's going to go out, and I think that's because, I mean, they intended for her to be doing things with the Oscars, and that was going to help help her rise to prominence and let her go out on a good note, and with all this controversy that's occurred, it just doesn't look that way. It makes her look like she's not going out on a good note, and I think that there's probably some disagreements within that because they haven't solved those problems.
Well, I think I just saw something. Yeah, I think she wanted to do the indie stuff, right? Yeah. If she gets cut short before Indiana Jones project really gets released, then that'll be a loss for her.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But she's at the age. I think I saw she's at the age George was when he sold Star Wars. Is that right?
She's 70, 69, 70 right now.
Right. So I mean,
she looks good for 69, 70.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, yes, she does. She's doing great. She's living life the right way. From that perspective, hate her, love her, whatever. She looks really good for her age. It reminds me of William Shatner, right?
Yeah.
The guy's like, 230 years old. He still looks like he's 70.
Oh man, what's up with that?
I don't know. And that guy is older than dirt, but I mean, he's up in his 80s now, and he still looks great, and he's got plenty of energy and all of that. So yeah, I can see if Kathleen is not given the opportunity to finish Indy, that'll come off as a loss, and that whatever's 90 something anyway, right?
Yeah, I think that she just wanted to go out on her own terms, and I don't think she has a problem leaving. It's just that I think Disney has no intentions of renewing her contract, and as a result, she's not, and because of the way things are just looking, that I think there's some remorse that it's going the way it is, and she probably is trying to hang on just a little while longer, and she's probably in order to get what things that she wants to play out, and so I just don't think Disney is. Oh, did I cut out? Did they?
You're back. I hear you.
Okay,
I hear you. I mean, anyway, you cut out for me for a little while, but now you're back.
Okay.
I see. Dale said now you cut out.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that's good. Oh, Robert Meyer Burnett had an interesting rant defending Kathleen yesterday. I've had I've sort of been in under a rock for the last week and a half because of work. I worked a 22-hour shift last week, I worked from 7:30 in the morning Thursday to 6:30 in the morning Friday, trying to get a release out. And then it was still buggy come the weekend, and I had to work on it again Monday. So it's just been rough. But then that's what happens when you try to push too hard. to get things done too fast, and you're working at 4 a.m. trying to get code written. It's no fun. Just telling you, no good, no point.
We're too old for that, Sam.
Oh, I'm way too old. And I could tell you something else that happened as a result of that. So I worked that long shift, and then I slept Friday night. I took a nap Friday afternoon, slept Friday night, took a nap Saturday, slept Saturday night, took a nap Sunday afternoon, and then slept Sunday night. And it wasn't till Monday that I got back to some semblance of feeling like myself again. I'm just way too old to work like that. I can't do it.
I can't do that either. Put that stuff behind me. No, I mean, I agree with people.
Yeah, great. I have no issues with Kathleen. You know, Kathleen's made mistakes, and I think that it's fair to criticize her where but the problem is people want to criticize her for things that aren't hers. But to hold her feet to the fire on the things that she should be doing is fair.
Yeah, I mean, I have her issues with what was going on with a lot of the movies, just because a lot of the movies issues should have been caught in pre-production, and so that's where I have an issue with her and those things. I mean, that's her forte, and so she should have caught those things well prior to them happening, and I think that part of the reason we got The Last Jedi that people didn't agree with was that it hadn't been reviewed because everything went so well in pre-production.
Right. Well, I think Solo tells you all the story about what I mean. Solo had its issues, but when that filming was over 80% complete, and she brought in Ron Howard, who basically had to salvage it from nothing.
Right, but she had to say
that movie is really dark because Ron had to tone it down to use some of the, a lot of the same footage. No fault of Ron Howard for coming in and picking up the pieces, but that ran almost double the budget. There's your executive producer. There's your head of the studio, right? So for me, you hold her accountable for what cost that studio so much money to make that movie.
No, absolutely. But the same is true for the movies prior. So I mean, even as much money as The Force Awakens made, even with that, there was a lot of pre-production things that should have been caught that an executive producer is supposed to catch. That's the point of the producers. The producer is supposed to ensure that everything is online and that the things they're doing are not going to cost them money down the road, right?
Right.
And so if I have a complaint about her, it's not recognizing these things that are going on in the pre-production that cost money. That's true. I mean, Rogue One they had to bring a new director in for Rogue One as well, and we forget about that, even though because it turned out to be good and that people really liked it. And again, I think a lot of that, it may not have been so much had we had The Last Jedi before the Rogue One, but I do think Solo suffered from the loss of goodwill from a huge portion of the fandom, and people like to say they're small, but I think they're a significant portion.
I mean, as far as the storytelling in The Last Jedi, I don't hold her feet accountable to the fire as much on that. I do when it comes to the money you spend, right?
Right.
So when because that's really her role, is to get the funding available and the resources available for the people making the movies.
Right, and to ensure also that you have a coherent story across the board that makes sense.
I don't know that that's her role. I think that the script is responsible for that more.
No, an executive producer who produces that stuff greenlights these things when the story with coherent stories. They try to produce that whole thing, so they're not in it. So like George wrote, but he was also an executive producer of the whole thing. This is all true. Also true.
I give another level of separation for her on that, only because I don't think she was involved in the story itself, and maybe that's her fault. But and I think that's evident in what happened in Solo, coming in so late. She wasn't engaged in the story, and then it gets to where it is, and then she's like, "No, this is a hot piece of garbage," and brings in Ron Howard to save the day.
No, absolutely. So all I'm saying is that they story. Yeah, so they do have a good. My point of when I say story, they're not sitting there writing the script, but they have a good idea of the coherency of the story, and then they come in and they ensure that the money's being everything lined up to tell that story money wise is done, and so yes, they do govern, and that's important that they do all these things. I honestly think though the reason why you lost so much money with Solo is wasn't just because of the over expenditure, basically doubling the price of what it should have cost, but also they lost a lot of goodwill from the Last Jedi.
Sure.
And I'm not blaming her story, her lack of paying attention to the story and the overall coherence of the thing. I'm just saying that when that happened, there was a lot of goodwill, for example, after The Force Awakens. So coming into Rogue One, even with the mistakes that it made over $1 billion and did really well. Right? Yep. And it was a story and people love it. Now coming after The Last Jedi, you have all these mistakes inside of Solo, and you've lost the goodwill. So the money they would have made up in the course of that didn't happen because of the loss of goodwill. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So her mistake became very obvious, evident.
Yeah, I think so. I may not give it the same weight that you do. Like if we were to say it's 30% this and 20% that, we'll probably have different percentages. But sure. I do think that there's a contributing factor for sure. No question. But had that come in on budget or even close to budget and performed the way it did, right. You're like, well, it didn't make what it should have or could have because it lost that goodwill. But at least it didn't cost the studio into the red.
Right.
Right.
I think
it still would have been in the black, just not brought in as much revenue as it could have. So I agree. I agree from that standpoint, in that she bears some accountability for that. But the Super Saiyan, I want to address your comment. I have it highlighted here. I heard she lied to George and put him under the bus. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that's one interpretation of how people are reading all of the events of he put her in charge and she made promises to him and then blah, blah, blah. The rest of that.
I sold my children to a group of white slavers.
Not only that, but there's I
don't think George was very happy. Let's put it that way.
I don't know that he felt like she backstabbed him or that she threw him under the bus. I don't think that he necessarily felt that way toward her directly, just that Disney and
I don't know the ins and outs of their friendship now.
Me neither.
So they used to be really good friends, and so I have not heard anything that said that George and Kathleen Kennedy are not friends anymore. So if he felt like she betrayed him, that news has not come out distinctly to say they're not friends anymore.
Right, and I'll put it. There's a difference between lying to somebody and the course of events going in a different direction than planned, right? So it's one thing to say that I used to have these fights with my daughter all the time. You said we would go to such and such after such and such, right? So we're going to go eat and then we're going to see a movie. Except, we got caught in traffic and then this thing happened and this other thing happened. We didn't eat until 8:30 at night. So of course we're not going to take a 7-year-old to go see a movie at 10 o'clock at night and then not get home until like 1 a.m, right? So it'd be like, you lied to me. No, I didn't lie to you, right? I didn't lie to you. That was our plan. Right. It's just that things happened along the way and we didn't go to the movie. We'll do that tomorrow or, on the weekend or some other day because things change. And so I don't have the impression at all that Kathleen went in and lied to George in the same way that I didn't lie to my kid when I told her that, hey, we're going to see a movie after dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, he brought her on. And I do think that there was some sense of bringing her on because she was a friend and she would let him have kind of the story he wanted to tell. And I do think that's probably true to some degree. And then she came in and said, George, you brought me on. Did you want me to run this company or are you going to come in here and run the company? Because if you're going to run the company, why did you sell it? And if that's the case, then you need to be here and you need to be speaking with Bob Iger and you two need to come up with a conference, and I'll step down and I'll go back to what I was doing before. But otherwise, I'll do the best, and I don't think your decisions are always the best. That's why we ended up with the prequels.
Yeah, yeah. Trev, we need the Lord Miller solo cut. Oh, I think the footage is there to. We could do the same thing with the Lord Miller cut as they're doing with the Snyder cut of the Justice League. All the footage is there. You could bring Lord Miller in and with a limited budget and recut that thing and back and add a couple of scenes that they didn't get to finish. So you could do it. You could do it. I just don't see a groundswell to do that, Trev. Isaac, hello, welcome. OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Hey, there you go. KK's the executive producer, but I wouldn't say she created The Mandalorian. Right. But you give her credit again. And it goes back to what Leia was saying. All right, her job is to bring in the resources and get the funding to make things happen. And so she got the funding, she brought the resources, she greenlit the project, and she also made gave Favreau the ability to build the set that he wanted, which is now an industry leader, and they're building more of them.
Right. I mean, the thing is that KK, we have to understand that KK is not just running a movie. She's running, Industrial Light and Magic. She's doing Skywalker Sound. I mean, there's just a lot of pieces of Lucasfilm that we don't necessarily see, just because we see a movie. So, I mean, I think that may have been more than what Kathleen Kennedy was prepared for when she came on. So those things took her attention more than she was knowing that she was going to be giving, and those lead to the problems in movies because she's having to pay attention to more than just
I gotta
a
watch
movie.
the time. We've kind of gone sideways. I just see we're almost down to 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we've done this before. We've had this discussion before. We're rehashing old stuff.
XR the mistake was making her head because that's not what she accepted. I think George, put too much confidence in her or put her in over her head, thinking that she would rise to the occasion. It took her longer to get there than he thought, but I think she's doing a great job now.
I think the problem is not recognizing that George had a CFO that did all the stuff behind the scenes and let him concentrate on the story.
Yeah. Isaac, what's wrong with the video quality? I assume you're talking about Solo. It's dark. And if you watch it with a critical eye on how dark it is, there's some scenes in there that just don't make sense. Like you see them running through towards the very beginning. They're on the speeder and they're inside and they're getting ready to go outside. When they're getting ready to go outside, you see through that tunnel and the outside is super bright, like super, super bright. And then zoom, they run out and it shows and it's gray and rainy and dark. Well, wait, I was inside and looking out and it was light. Now I'm outside and outside is dark. So it's stuff like that. They had to really darken it so that you couldn't pick up on some of the elements in there, and that the footage that was being used from the previous cut could be reused. Yes, right. So let's go on. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
It's not easy being green. We need to talk about some Muppets.
We do. We need to get to it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and change. We're going to change to the Muppet casting. So Isaac, again, I just have touched on this. There is no source material. Look, for the anthology, for the saga itself, none of the saga are based on books. None of the saga are based on comics. None of the saga is based on video games. Why would you take episodes 7, 8, and 9 and base them off of books and things? So when she says that we were making a trilogy and we had no source material, she's talking specifically about the source material for the saga, right? There's no books. We're not taking these books and turning them into movies. It's not to say that there is no other material It's just that these movies are not based on books. And then later she comes and says, we're building up this other stuff and we're using some other source material. It's like, wait, did she just figure it out? No, these are stories that people are taking to spin a narrative to meet their own agenda. And it's maddening to me. I get upset about it because it's almost willful ignorance.
Yeah, I think that we can respectfully disagree with you on that. I see you getting, agitated, and I understand it. I don't think that was the context of that interview, but that's my take, and I get it that you have a different take, and I'm not going to try to upset you. But I think we should talk about some Muppets.
Yeah.
People aren't mad.
Anthony, Santa, stories coming out now. There were issues with Cat and George. Does it feel like what's happening with DC and other similar actors? I think what we do is we take stories that are coming out and we put them as if it was high school drama. And then a narrative comes out that, oh, so-and-so said such and such about so-and-so. Oh, can you believe it? And then before you know it, all of a sudden we've got drama that, oh, so-and-so hates so-and-so now because they diss their, and the two people involved are completely clueless about what you're talking about. And I think a lot of that happens. So no, I don't think so. So Anthony, I hope that answers your question. If not, I know you said, could you read your comment? If you want to post a clarification, do so. Imagine force. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the Muppet casting, the Phantom Menace. So last week we kind of got started on this. It was a lot of fun, folks. We had a great time talking about the Muppets and what role they would play in the Phantom Menace. So I just wanted to pick up from that. We carried it on into Discord. And if you guys are not part of our Discord, please come out and find us. We have a lot of fun discussion out there, and you can have some say into what we're going to talk about each week. But
where'd you find this picture?
Where did I find this picture? I just Googled Muppets Star Wars. I love Beaker as
13720 watts.
You gotta love Beaker as C-3PO, right? I mean, I think it's fantastic. I wanted to get some of the others. Here we've got. Oh, and Mark brings up the sort of what brought it up, right? Because they released all the Muppet episodes on Disney Plus, and now there's some drama around and putting warnings in the front of some of them because the content is offensive to some folks. Whatever, it is whatever. But this sort of got us thinking about what if you were to cast all the movies as recast
Muppets.
them and redo them as Muppets, right?
Yeah.
And have fun with it. In the same sort of vein as the Lego Star Wars, but to redo them as this. So I've got to read you some of them that were on Discord. And
apparently they'd be canceled if that's the problem. They have to have a warning.
Oh my goodness!
Warning! Gonzo as Vader is a problem. It might be considered a problem to your children and racially insensitive.
So Mark Hamilton suggested maybe Qui-Gon as the stoic old eagle, full of grandeur and wisdom. I'm okay with that. This guy back.
It sounds like they have him situated as old Obi-Wan in this picture.
Well, but yeah, this is from the original trilogy, right? So there's Han Solo and all that. But if we're talking about the Phantom Menace, right? I couldn't find any Phantom Menace pictures that I wanted to use, and I thought, well, this just gets us. And then Scooter, we get Scooter in there, right? Where would you put Scooter? Who would you?
Scooter's who I would see is Luke, and I would have.
Luke isn't born yet. Phantom Menace.
I know, but I mean, so I'm going back, and so to me, it would have been Kermit as Obi-Wan, but the reason why they have Kermit there is Luke is because of we have Miss Piggy for Princess Leia, but it's but we know that that's not the case. So in that case, it should be Kermit should be Han Solo in the original trilogy, and then we should and set that all up. So now the Phantom Menace, I would think that Kermit would be the best Obi-Wan.
Kermit as Obi-Wan, and then Scooter as
Anakin, I guess.
Anakin.
Yeah,
I could go for that. And then Watto, Gonzo. Gonzo has to be Watto, right?
No. See, that's typecasting.
It makes sense.
You're typecasting now.
And then you could have Gonzo's chickens as some of those droids in his area there, right?
Sure, you could. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I said that if you put Gonzo as Watto, you're typecasting.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good fit. Animal as Maul. Right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he doesn't speak.
That's good. Let's see. Who else?
Two drumsticks that turn into lightsabers.
The two old dudes could be in the Jedi Council. He's trolling everyone, right?
Yeah,
that'd be great. Jumping in, Jamie in Discord posted. I've got Bean Bunny as oh wait a minute, he's back there he's talking about the original trilogy. Sorry about that. And there's that's not from the Phantom Menace either. If not from Phantom Menace, Uncle Deadly as Sebulba.
Yeah. No,
I don't know Uncle Deadly.
I think your old men have got to be the Trade Federation, the Neomoidians. That's who you have as the Neomoidians. That's definitely it. So that's your old men.
Maybe Rolf as Doggy Wan Kenobi. Maybe
Doggy Wan Kenobi.
It's awesome. So good, yeah. Right? It's so good. The possibilities are just fantastic. Let's see. What I get caught up with you. I was just reading from Discord. Again, you guys need to come join our Discord and continue this, because next week we'll talk about Attack of the Clones. So get your brains thinking about Attack of the Clones. Think about that movie. Think about the Muppets. And if you're watching this video afterwards, please put your Muppet casting for Attack of the Clones in the comments below. Right? So put your comments for Attack of the Clones Muppet casting in the comments, and join our Discord, and come to my channel in there. And
who would be Yoda?
And with Star Wars Santa, and put in your Muppet casting. Yeah, who's Yoda?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
That's a really hard one. Rizzo?
Oh.
Rizzo's actually, he's funny, but he's wise.
Yeah.
Who's Mace? I think Rolf should be Mace.
Oh, there you go. Rolf as Mace Windu. That would be great.
Yeah, I think that's a good cast.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. Let's see. Double-ended drumsticks. As the double-ended lightsaber. That's good. Swedish Chef as a pod racer announcer. Oh, no, that's fantastic. Aggressively, if you have him as that double-headed pod racer announcer, just put the Swedish Chef in there. Goiki dargy dargy. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, we have Rolf as Mace.
That's Jabba.
We're not to Jabba yet. Not in. Oh yeah, he's there. Yeah. He's there, right? Yoda's 8,000-year-old Kermit.
It's just an old Kermit. He comes and goes, "Oh, we look alike."
Yeah. Well, if you have Kermit as Yoda, then you got to keep that all the way through, right?
No, but I was saying that you literally have Obi-Wan as Yoda or as Kermit, and he comes in and he sees his old self as Yoda, and he's like, "Oh, what?"
So Trev has done what we asked. He came into the Discord and said, Yoda is just Yoda. He's already a puppet.
Oh yeah, he's a Muppet. It's true.
He's a Muppet, right?
He's a Muppet. He's just Yoda.
He's
That's
Yoda.
true.
Yoda. Well, there
That's
you
true.
go. Problem solved.
And they reckon it actually could be part of the whole thing where they go, "Well, how come you were never on the show?"
I lost you.
I'm saying that. Can you
I gotta wait for you to come back.
Oh no. Anyway, I was just saying that.
No.
We've lost each other.
Come on.
Oh,
you're back.
Okay. What I was saying was that literally they could come up to him when they first go into the council room with Yoda there, and they go, "What's this Muppet? We've never seen him before."
Right. Isaac was talking about the live stream quality. It may just be you, or it could be me. I'm having issues, so we'll see. That's great. This is so much fun. This is what you take your channel, which in Reimagining Star Wars, we talk about fan fiction. Yep. And every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right?
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m.
On Central Time.
Oh, 8 p.m. Central.
Yep.
So 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. They do readings of fan fiction. So check out a Magic Maker's Discord, and every Sunday night they have these discussions, and you can get help from other people who are writers and interested in fan fiction, creating fan fiction, and join them there. And this is the type of thing that falls into fan fiction. It may not be canon kind of stuff, or the what did you call it? Faninverse.
Yeah, Faninverse.
Right. It may not be that, but it does fall into the category of fan fiction.
Oh, absolutely. And I love this kind of stuff. I would absolutely help somebody create this kind of thing.
And this is so much fun. I would love to see a revival of the Muppets and maybe do, this kind of thing. It'd be great.
But yeah, so it is a lot of fun, and Leia Love, who's on here right now, or has been here just a bit ago, was she comes on there and she has some excellent fan fiction. You really, really, really need to hear it when she reads. She's a voice actress too, so she's excellent. She does a lot of good work. And so when she reads it, it's really professional.
That's great. That is great. Let me see if I can. Oh, she's still here. Very good. Thanks so much, Leia. And we had her here as a guest one night as well, and that'd be good. Yeah, they just did a Muppet show and it was so good, but it can't. Well, it just wasn't getting. It's been some time. It just didn't get ratings, right?
So sad. Muppets Take Manhattan is probably, or the Great Muppet Caper is my favorite.
Oh,
that's my favorite one.
There's a lot of good Muppet stuff. Let me see if I can. Here we go. I've got a Magic Maker's Discord. I think this is the link here. You guys try it. Let me know if this takes you to a Magic Maker's Discord. I put it in the chat, and it's in the description. But hopefully that'll let you get onto his channel. So we've had fun again today. Again, just a note about tomorrow's show. I have a box here that Target decided not to sell me, but that I got from our friends down at Dorkside Toys, and so we'll do this toy review tomorrow, and then next week, a Magic Maker and I will be back for our regular Thursday content and a discussion. And once again, we'll be talking about Attack of the Clones and the Muppet casting for that, plus any other Star Wars news that comes up in between. And so you guys let me know. And Trev said, yep, that worked. Oh, good. Thanks, Trev. And that will... and we'll talk about any other Star Wars news that comes up between now and then. And the Magic Maker, how are you and Vega doing on starting that book?
So I have read half of it, and Vega has not read any of it.
Oh.
I was supposed to finish it all in 1 week or 1 weekend, and I did. I knocked out a good portion of it. It's not a hard read, and so but I got really distracted and did not finish it, and I have not picked it back up since then. So, and she's really into the some dragon books right now, and the name of it's escaping me. But so she's been headlong. She's like, I'll get to it, and she just hasn't done it yet.
Okay. Well, very good. We'll be talking about that once she gets through that. And I've been in talking with our friend Lord Callis about maybe doing some content with him again. And I would like to do a review, another panel review, as we did before with Gray, Lord Callis, myself. We talked about one of the books. I'd like to do it with Into the Dark, Claudia Gray's High Republic novel. But again, kind of waiting for a spoiler time to pass and folks to read it. And if any of you would like to join Lord Callis and I and perhaps Gray, we'll see if Gray's read it. We'll do a review of that book, a full spoiler detail review coming up before too long. So anything else you want to announce for your channel?
No, I think you covered it all. And so we're just moving along. I'm working on a couple of things, but that's it. May the force be with you all.
Very good. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate your support. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And leave a comment on your Attack of the Clones casting for next week's talk, or join our Discord and join us in discussion there. That'll be fun. And until we talk to you next time, everybody, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.